Oh, you're back. I thought we'd kick off the Bush playlist with a no-brainer, so Comedown for Todd. And also, I must extend my superfluous thanks to Mr. Brian Lamb and Mr. Barbu MC, my French buddy, for signing up for the Patreon. The cat just jumped. Supporter of the Cause Club. Gentlemen, thank you so very much. And if you'd like to know what that's all about, the link, of course, will be in the description. I'm going to employ this pedal today. This is the Siren Midnight Train. They sent it to me to try out, and I thought it would be perfect for this song. If you like it so much that you must have it, you can go to sirenpedals.com and enter the coupon code Ryan20 for 20% off. And before we get started, I'm going to show you why I'm going to choose the setting I'm going to choose on this and the range of sounds that you can make with this lovely device. Alright, so this is a fuzz pedal, but what I like about it in the setting I'm going to use it at, it's somewhere in between a fuzz, and I'm down here, and a pillowy distortion. So here's my clean tone, so to speak. It's not quite clean, but let's turn it on and you will hear. And that's the tone knob. This tone knob will take you anywhere from that to this. Kind of reminds you of a rat, an old Smashing Pumpkins tone perhaps, so I'm going to leave that towards the pillow end. And it's also got this mids switch here, which you can either boost the mids, unboosted, boosted, hear it a little bit, or cut the mids. Big difference between boosted and cut. But I'll bet you that does a lot more in this one. Oh yeah. Awesome, so I'm going to leave the mids alone and turn it all the way to pillow, and of course it's got the amount of fuzz knob, which just does what it sounds like. Here we go! Alright, there's a lot of stuff going on in the intro, it's an onion, but you might want to play the bass line, because it's fun, despite the fact that you're holding a guitar in your hand. You're going to go A2, E2, A open, A2, D open twice, A2, A open. Trouble propriocepting, that's a verb now, when there's open strings involved, so I'm going to do it like this. A2, E2, then A5, E5, sorry, it's an A note, A2, A5, back to A2, and E5. For some reason that pattern makes more sense to my brain and fingers, but you pick your favorite way. Then you hear two little sparkly notes on the E string and B string 10th fret. Just kind of tinkle in there a little bit. And then you hear the D string 9th fret kind of start to swell in. Now I've got the pedal on. Then we hear the D string 7th and 9th frets. And the G string 9th and 7th frets. And you can just mess around with those four notes however you like. It's a nice little box. 7th and 9th frets on the D string, 7th and 9th frets on the G string. And then they kick in with some chords. We're going to grab a B power chord. That's the 2nd fret of the A string, so 2 or 4. But we're going to leave the B and the E strings open. You hear that, and you also hear it on the A, which is the next chord. So we're going to go open, 2, 2, open, open. It's an A suspended 2. Really, they're continuing along the theme of. And then it's an F sharp major chord in the same vein. So 2, 4, 4, 3, open, open. Just kind of sounds a little bit more of a mess than a regular F sharp major chord. And then it's G. Watching live versions, he played a regular G chord. On the record, it sounds like he continued this bar chord shape with the open B and E strings. We got B with the open strings, A with the open strings, F sharp major with the open strings, and G with the open strings. Of course, course, in the verse, it's just bass line, but the melody certainly agrees with that intro progression. So if you want to keep playing something, or, you know, if you're campfiring it, play yourself that cool B chord, that cool A chord, the cool F sharp chord, and the cool G chord, or play B minor, regular A, F sharp major, and G, if you want. But the guitars are making crazy, you know, random noises. So make crazy random noises if that's what you want to do. That's fun too. All right, the chorus. That's what this pedal was built for. Let's grab a D power chord. That's the A string 5th fret. An A power chord. That's the E string 5th fret. And a G power chord. That's the E string 3rd fret. You also hear one guitar in the mix, with a very similar tone, so it's hard to differentiate. Play a regular G chord there. You can mix it up. You can do D power chord, A power chord, then land on G, and then go. You kind of get both flavors in there, but we have that bendy note. It's the B string 5th fret. And on the last one, there's a high guitar that becomes apparent, and I think it's 10th fret of the E and B strings, just like the intro. Then we're going to switch it to 9/10 EB for the A, which makes sense because that's a D-shaped A, or 2/3 of a D-shaped A we're dealing with there anyways. And then back to 10/10, which is like a G suspended 2, mini tiny 2-note chord there. And then he goes on the B string 7 to 5 and become bendy guy again there. So the very last time, while one guy goes D, A, G, this guy goes right before the singing in the second verse, you hear a B power chord go. And we were playing B power chord here, but play it here this time on the E string 7th fret so that you have more fun to slip and slide down. Halfway through the second verse, who knows what kind of squealy effect he's got going on there to make the notes B3 and G4 sound the way they do, but those are the notes that they are. You could do it an octave higher on 15 and 16. Still not quite the right thing, but, you know, who has that pedal? The second chorus adds some stuff. You hear one guitar start to do a D suspended 4 noodle there, so play your D chord regular and put your pinky finger on E3. Then play regular A and regular G is probably what he's doing there. And also super high guy, this time you hear him go 10/10, 9/10, and then down 2 frets from that, 7/8. Which is really convenient for that, but that's actually 2 different guitar performances, layers, you know, in the mix. But that makes sense because this is 2 notes out of a D chord, 2 notes out of an A chord, and then of course G is 1 whole step lower than A. So that's 2/3 of a D-shaped G there. Makes total sense, but you could, you know, just keep doing that thing. Do however you want to play D, A, and G. Pick and choose your favorite things there. The solo is a raucous good time. Grab 4 notes. These 4 notes I'm going to show you. G11, G12, B12, and E12 for the first bit of the solo anyways. And literally do randomly whatever you want on those 4 notes and it's going to sound awesome. Sounds just like it. And then at the end of the solo, he does something that sounds like it's on purpose. I was having trouble hearing this because it's like totally the wrong scale for the progression, but there's no such thing as a wrong note as long as you act like you meant to do it, and he sure acted like he meant to do it here. Grab B12, 10, 9, and G11. Then we're going to go back up B9, 10, 9, G9, and then kind of land down on G7 at the end. So, after your right about the chord progression for that intro being the implied verse chord progression, because in the second half of the last verse, of course, the guitar does chime in with just that. And then I don't know if it's been going on the whole time, if I just heard it in this last, beginning of the big last long chorus section, but I'm now hearing D power chord, but with an A in the bass, which is just adding another fifth in the power chord. So instead of root, fifth, root, we have fifth root, fifth root. It doesn't change the fact that it's a D power chord, but it just adds a little more beef in there. So you can do it if you want, or you can ignore it if you want, but here's the difference. Regular D power chord, D power chord with an A in the bass. Here's the difference, it's just a little meatier. So you can do it, or not do it, but here it is with the extra meat. Without. Totally doesn't matter. Pick your favorite. Well, I just listened to the very last note of the song 1,500 times, and I cannot, for the life of me, decipher it. The bass hits a D, and then it sounds like we hear like the open E and B strings out of the guitar. So, the satisfying thing would be D, I don't want to A from G, and then you'd just be all... You'd play D, and that's the obvious thing to do, but that's not what happens. So I'm going to play an A string 7th fret and also pluck gingerly the open B and E strings. That kind of really grabs the essence of what happens at the end of this song. Gentlemen and ladies, thank you so much for being here for this one. I think if I made this one on 5 different days, I'd do this video a lot differently. Sometimes I just kind of swoop through and get the gist, and sometimes I really want to pick apart every little thing. So I hope that's exactly what you were looking for this particular song on this particular day. Anyways, thank you so much for being here. I will see you next time with more stuff. Goodbye.